Hello, friends. My name is host Eric. I am the host of Talking with Famous People, and I am here today with Archive and Susie and my woman, the dual, the ISFJ, Kimberly. And I wanted to ask her some questions about red flags that males can give off that indicate they're not serious. I've gotten information from Kimberly suggesting that she's been vaguely in the market for relationships for a number of years while concurrently being a parent, and for one or a variety of reasons, the attainment of a long-term committed relationship while concurrently maintaining the level of parenting that she wanted to maintain was something that eluded her. She's not sure necessarily how much of that is circumstantial or how much of that is whatever. We're not trying to place any judgment about that, whether it's a life situation thing, a life moment thing, or whatever. But what I do know is that she has some useful information regarding indications that guys are just not interested in anything like what you perhaps are interested in. And without further meowing it up, I'm going to hand the mic over to Kimberly and hope that Susie will help facilitate the asking of questions of Kimberly here. So, Kimberly, do you have anything that comes to mind as far as red flags that somebody... Well, first of all, it took you a while to determine that I was serious, right? So, what are some red flags that I could have given early on that would have said, like, yeah, no way?
You tried to sleep with me on the first date.
That's a big no-no. You shouldn't try to do that. That's a red flag? So if somebody's not serious, then they try to sleep with you on the first date.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the set of people who were really serious?
There's no way of knowing that.
Well, aren't I serious?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known that.
I know, but I tried to sleep with you on a first date, so wouldn't that be a good sign that trying to sleep with you on the first date is a sign of seriousness?
No.
Oh. Susie, can you help me?
Are there any patterns of things they say to you? There's a
there-
lot of echo.
Are there what?
Is there a pattern of what they say to you, which are red flags?
Is there a pattern?
What they say to you?
Yeah,
A
things
pattern?
that
No,
repeat.
it's different. With
In
every
what way?
Well, it's hard to know if men are really looking for a relationship when they say they are. But they learn what to say to women. I mean, they know what we like to hear, so they learn ways of getting what they want by telling us things that they think that we want to hear. But I personally don't ever trust that.
Can you give examples?
Well, like with Eric, it didn't matter what he showed me that first night or what he told me. It wouldn't have mattered. I needed time. And that would be with anyone, not just him.
Okay, so you can't really know.
So what?
What can you trust?
What can I trust now?
What? No, in general, what are signs of a person being trustworthy other than time?
I guess, well, typically in the past, eagerness made me nervous. Like an over-eagerness to jump in is a red flag. Sorry.
That's fine. I like these red flags a lot.
Yeah. Probably every single one that you gave me. I mean, I don't know how to explain this thing with Eric, because there was a shit ton of red flags.
What about green flags?
Yeah, there was probably equally as many green flags. What were the green flags?
That's what I was told.
Oh, yeah, but that's...
Talk to the microphone, Eric.
Oh. Yeah.
So sorry.
No,
I
you wanted to make this video and you're out there...
know, but see, I think I'm actually... I think I constrain
No.
you. Is what I think. I think I constrain you when we're talking.
No, you are not. You are getting out of it because you don't know what to say.
Because I don't want to constrain things. Anyway,
You
what
are
I was
not.
saying is, there are simple green flags for everybody. Like, Kimberly was not allowed to have horns, for example. I have a no horns policy for women. She's in luck.
That's
She has
it?
no horns. Well, I mean, there are basic things, is my point. There are certain basic things, but then there are other more complicated things that are more, like, individuated.
Well, why don't you sit down and talk about them?
I am talking about them right now.
Sit down and get
I'm talking
comfortable.
into the microphone, Kimberly. That's why I'm talking
Well,
right
come
here.
sit down and get comfortable.
This is comfortable for me.
It's not for me.
How about now?
No.
Sit down, make her comfortable, participate.
Yeah.
How about, did you have people who were around for a while but turned out to not be sincere?
If 2 weeks is a while, then yes, but after 2 weeks, probably no.
And these 2 weeks people, did you experience that they lied or made up things?
Yeah. The first week was always good and fun. The second week you start to get a little more into the personal side of somebody, and there's always gaps and holes and things that don't make sense, and a lot of emotional tug of war, I would say. But I don't usually go on past that.
In the last 10 years or so, right? She was married originally when she had a kid.
Married. Yeah, but that was my longest relationship, was probably my relationship with my husband, my ex-husband. But I haven't had anything that's stuck since probably 2007. And that stuck was
Okay.
1 year.
So the first week was too good to be true.
So the first what? Week?
Yes.
Not too good. No, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I thought this is too good to be true, ever. Except now.
Oh,
Do you
but
think
in
that
week
now?
2,
Do you think
Yes.
that now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
but in week 2, they started revealing their
Week
flaws.
2 could possibly still be fun and, whatever, depending on how busy we were, how often we got together. But it's usually by week 3 you can kind of tell if someone's going to be there for the long run, whether it's me running or them running.
What kind of signs would be them running?
Infrequent phone calls, just not making any plans.
Humming and hawing.
Yeah, not asking any questions, personal questions. Not really investing any time in getting to know them.
Did we spend a lot more time together in our first 2 weeks than normally you would have spent in the first 2 weeks?
Yes. Probably even in past relationships with somebody that I liked.
And how did our week 3 contrast from week 3 of a relationship that was doomed? What did we do in our week 3? Did we plan to go to Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
I tried to lock you down pretty fast. Did you feel at any point like, shit, I have to make a decision faster than I want to?
Yeah.
Do you still feel that way?
No.
Interesting. When did that change?
Probably during Kentucky.
That was pretty fun. I really enjoyed fishing with you.
Yeah, it was fun.
Red flag, guys. Topic of video.
Oh yeah, red flags.
He wanted to make this about red flags. I don't necessarily.
Alright, so, okay, look. If I have a mustache and come up to you, imagine you're sitting at the bar. It's 8 weeks ago, you haven't met me yet. 9 weeks ago, because you don't even have a premonition of me yet. And I walk up, I've got a mustache but no beard. I look sort of like I look right now, and I'm like, hey, how are you this evening? How do you respond? Is that a red flag?
Yes.
Okay, why is that a red flag?
Because I would be thinking you are fucking weird.
You're making a voice, obviously, and doing some weird
No, that's
movements.
how I am.
No?
If I was like, hey, sweet cheeks, and I came and slapped you on the ass.
No. Well, why don't you just?
Then you would be
Why don't
slapped.
you do what you? Why don't you be serious and do what you did the first night we met?
I don't remember what I did.
You said, "Hi, Kimberly."
What else are you gonna say? We'd already talked on the phone. I went, honk honk. No, not right away. Would that have been a red flag?
Just almost.
Yeah, that would have been a red
The whole
flag.
night, well, the whole night was really nice, and yeah, and then I would say at the end it became one big red flag.
Uh-oh, Eric got in trouble. I
And
came back
somehow
on.
she went to the YouTube channel.
Right. Well, because I have the draw of the duel. It's a magic pull. Hi, Colin.
What's up?
Not much. I see you brought back some sprouts. I'm sure that's full of healthy vegetables.
It's because,
Alcohol.
you guys like these?
What are they?
Wasabi green peas.
Wasabi green peas.
I thought Tara would for sure like those.
Are wasabi green peas a red flag? Ashtray is...
Yes.
Hey, famous people.
Yeah. So, red flags, green flags, and relationships. Okay, well, one big flag issue for any parent, obviously, is getting along with somebody's kid. That's a big flag, Delilah met Kimberly, and they get along fine. But it was more of a challenge, obviously, because I was coming into this environment where Kimberly lived with her son. So I imagine a fair amount of red flaggery occurred around that. Yes, Kimberly?
For him, I think I knew what I was doing.
But I mean, that would be a way that one could evaluate
Yes,
a potential.
of course. But I just think that it's really hard because it's also circumstantial. I mean, in a different situation, I could see why what you and I did or how quickly we've moved would not be good for somebody else. I mean, I would say the fact that both of our kids are the age that they are and where you and I are in our careers, and I just think that the timing was perfect for everything. So I don't think that
Well,
red flags is kind of what.
But one thing that's been important to you is that I come in and navigate successfully and well the relationship with your son, who, understandably, having been the man in the house for 10 years or so, is cautious. having seen potential suitors come and go, and none of them make the grade one way or the other, then he's going to be particularly.
He hasn't really had a life of seeing suitors come and go.
Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to make it sound like all that.
Always dated. I mean, I took years of breaks.
You took years of featuring aficionadoing.
It's not like I spent 17 years of searching.
Our 2-week-long relationships.
But did you ever encounter any guys that did something which made you believe that this guy is potentially dangerous or harmful for you?
Yes.
Can you give examples of that?
Yeah. Well, this was probably quite a few years ago. There was somebody that I dated, and it was somebody I worked with, and he had a best friend that we worked with as well, and his friend was dating my friend, and we would all go and hang out, and I didn't know that he was doing some sort of drug, and he went out and got high, and then he came in and he hit me. And yeah, that's a red flag.
He hit you?
He hit me.
In the face or what?
Yeah, he backhanded me.
What'd you do?
I cried and I left. It was scary.
Did you see him again?
No. Yeah, actually, I saw him when I was on a trip with my family in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta. He was living there.
And what happened?
Well, it was kind of bizarre to run into him. But yeah. And then there's been a couple of other people that I've dated in the past that became a little bit stalkerish and said some pretty horrible things about my son, and just kind of got to be a little threatening. It was a little obsessed.
As if the person was trying to push you down.
Well, yeah, obviously, I don't know, I could tell he was an abuser, so I never even let the relationship go any further than it had, and he probably stalked me for about 6 years.
Wow. That's disturbed.
Yeah, but, the relationship had never even gone anywhere, ever. It was somebody that I had dated early on when Colin was younger, and then he would do like a revisit every couple of years, and then he would do a revisit every couple of months or whatever, but he'd just always check in, and he got really crazy. There's tons of red flags. People are weird. But I guess you kind of learn how to decipher things that you can work out and things that are character flaws. But
yeah, character flaws, red flags.
Yeah. But I'm at a point in my life where I think I've seen and done it all, and I don't know. I'm just in a different place.
So that's heretofore, that stuff has caused us some struggles between you and me, because I have like a hard time hearing about her past sometimes. But it's like, it's one of those things that it's entirely my problem. To the extent that her past is difficult for her, my past is difficult for me, and our pasts are difficult for each of us. We we ought share each other's burden or help carry each other's burden in those regards, not make it heavier by casting judgment, which is implicit in my own bad reaction to it, which I blame Swords and Dragons books for mostly. Because you see, in Swords and Dragons books, all the chicks are virgins and they don't really have sex with you until you earn their special favor or something, and you have to be super noble and shit. And then the world's not really like that. There's a bunch of douchebags out there and they get all the pussy. And it's really frustrating. So,
What about ghosting? What is ghosting and signs of ghosting, and how does it happen?
Ghosting's very normal. I think even if there's a relationship that's going to work out, ghosting is something that people do when they rush into something really quickly, and then that they let their emotions get ahead of them, and then there's like a setback, and it usually happens at about the 2 to 3 week mark, and things are going really well, and there's a lot of adrenaline in the relationship, and there's a lot of excitement, and you may hear things that they don't particularly mean, but they said it at the height of something or whatever, and then you kind of go home, you catch your breath, and you go, what the fuck what am I getting myself into? And it happens on both sides when it's not a match.
there was a time when you were afraid that was going to happen with us, or you mentioned some sort of concern about it, and I was genuinely baffled. Like, you think I'm just gonna like disappear or something? It's impossible for me to even consider disappearing because, I mean, I'm so easy to find. Not anymore. Now I'm a lot harder to find. Now I'm a lot harder to get in touch with because.
No, but that's not what it is. It's not like they're just disappearing. They are intentionally not calling, intentionally not texting, intentionally not picking up your calls, intentionally disappeared, MIA. That's ghosting.
That sounds very rude.
It is very rude, but it's very common.
Well,
and I think over the years I got to where I didn't take that personal. Because I kind of even did that to you a little bit.
Did you?
Well, I remember there was a point where I was like, I need to take this in, like.
What did I do? What did I say?
Well, because you rushed everything so fast, I just needed to like catch up. That was what I did. I said, I need to catch up here.
And so what happened?
So despite you every single day and many times throughout the day, the reassurances or whatever, I had to just go with it, and eventually I caught up. But
so when you said you needed time to catch up or whatever, did we take a break or something like that?
No.
I just said, no, you don't get time to catch up? I said, okay, well, you can have time to catch up together.
Well, I don't know how to explain how I did it, but I probably did.
No, I'm asking if I paid any attention to you at all when you said that.
No.
Oh. That's how you solve those kind of problems. You just don't pay any attention to them. I don't like the words you're saying. I'm going to ignore them. Mm-hmm. Did my plan work?
It did.
Good. You had to think about that a long time.
It takes me a while to think about things. Remember, I process differently than you.
I remember. You're a censor. You're my perfect angelic censor.
Yeah, it took you a while to accept that.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Well, hey, I had to process some shit too, right? I'm a processor as well. We both process. We're in the process of processing. We're processed cheese food substitute. I think this has been a pretty good video, pretty good conversation, frankly. You think it's come to an end?
I think so. Unless you have something more you want to talk about.
Pet alligators, red flag. If your man, your potential man has pet alligators, that's a red flag. You don't want to go out with that guy, okay? You know why? You're going to be fed to those alligators. It's guaranteed. That's why he has them. He kills people and feeds them to the alligators. Thanks for watching Talking with Famous People.
Don't forget